Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host, Doug, here with your video blog for April 25th, 2014. A great blog once again planned for you today. We're of our New York sports update. We'll also give you my Major League Baseball power rankings. Yankee pitcher gone for the season, another gone for 10 games. We'll break down the 11 through 15 picks of the NBA or the NFL draft as well. But first I want to get to the NBA playoffs. A lot of Game 2s are now done, starting to move into Game 3s. We saw some Game 3s last night. We'll see more tonight and tomorrow night. So let's get to it. The 1-8 matchup in the East, not going as planned. Roy Hibbert really struggling to have any form of positive play for the Pacers. Hawks get another win last night, 98-85. Jeff Teague, another big game with 22 and 10. Atlanta now leads 2-1, and they're looking like the team that could win this series because they got the home court advantage, and they're rolling right now. In the 7-2 matchup in the East, we saw Miami the other night go up 2-0. LeBron James in a big-time clutch performance late. We saw him get it done 32, 8, and 6. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist scored 22 for the Bobcats, but it wasn't enough as the Heat take Game 2, 101-97. Experiencing some... Alright, I guess we're all set there. They will play Game 3 tomorrow, okay? Alright, another series that's at two games so far. Brooklyn and Toronto. Brooklyn and Toronto tied up 1 game apiece. Toronto got the win the other night. As we know, DeMar DeRozan played well. We're going to see what happens in this series. This is an interesting series going down the stretch. They're going to play Game 3 tonight in Brooklyn. If Brooklyn gets the win tonight, I think Brooklyn will win the series in 5 games. In the 4-5 matchup, we have Washington and Chicago. The Wizards' backcourt has been way too much. Bradley Beal and John Wall have been playing great. I'm taking the Bulls in this series, and I'll take the Bulls tonight in this game. I'm taking the Wizards in the series, and I'm going to take the Wiz tonight in this game. They're going to go up 3-0, and this could be a sweep pretty quick here. Heading out west, Dallas, San Antonio, they're tied up at a game apiece as well. They're going to play Game 3 tomorrow at 4:30. Dallas has found a way to force some turnovers, play some good D. If they can keep it going, they could beat them. But I think the Spurs have enough experience, have enough skill. I'm going to take the Spurs in this next game, and I'll take the Spurs to win it in 6. Memphis, OKC, another interesting series in another 1-8 or a 2-7 matchup. Grizzlies win again last night. Kevin Durant really struggling to shoot the ball. Westbrook and Durant are taking just right up around 60% of the total shot attempts by the Oklahoma City Thunder.
We want to find out which vehicle you prefer. Wow, that's really cool.
They need to either start hitting shots or stop taking shots. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't know what will happen. I think the Grizz could win this series, and it's going to be interesting. They will play Game 4 on Saturday at 9:30. Golden State and the Clip Show. This has been an interesting series. Last night, we saw Blake Griffin have another big performance. CP3 probably fouled Steph Curry on that final shot attempt. We'll see Game 4 in this series Sunday at 3:30. This is a good series to watch. I still think the Clippers can win this. I still think the Clippers will win the series, but I think it's going to go 7 as the Warriors are going to find a way to win some games here. And finally, Portland and Houston. Portland heading home. I think Portland will lose tonight against the Rockets. I think James Harden will play better. There's going to be an emotional game for Portland coming back. I'm going to take overall the Rockets to win tonight, but drop it in 6. And as I said tonight, our 3 games, Toronto and Brooklyn, Bulls at the Wiz, and Rockets at the Trailblazers. All right, let's head on to our NFL draft coverage. NFL draft picks 11 through 15. Coming in at number 15 on the draft picks, the Tennessee Titans. The Titans have a lot of needs. They're going to have to get better in the secondary to stop Andrew Luck in the division. I'm taking them to take the safety out of Alabama, Clinton Dixon, okay? All right, number 12, we have the Giants. Giants are another team that have a lot of needs. I think they could go tight end, could go offensive line. They went offensive line last year with Pugh out of Syracuse. I think they'll go tight end, Eric Ebron out of North Carolina if he's still on the board at that point. St. Louis, they can pretty much take anybody. These picks through here, these guys can pretty much take anybody. I think they'll take the best available player on the board, and at that point, I have Taylor Lewan from Michigan going 13 to the Rams. 14th pick, Chicago Bears. Defense was bad last year. Defensive front wasn't great. I think they'll go Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, out of Pittsburgh, and he could really solidify this defense and make them another competitor as well. Pittsburgh Steelers, the final pick of the day at number 15. I think they need to go wide receiver. There's a lot of good wide receiver. People are saying Brandon Cooks. I like Odell Beckham Jr., kind of an Emmanuel Sanders-like wide receiver. I think he'll go to Pittsburgh and have an impact immediately for sure. We'll do picks 16 through 20 on Monday, as we're going to get to the Jets and some of the playoff contenders as well. All right, Major League Baseball action. The big story yesterday, of course, Michael Pineda receiving a 10-game suspension for the use of pine tar the other night in the Yankees game. Honestly, I am pro pine tar. I'm going to start using pine tar possibly in my church softball league. I don't think it's illegal. I might try it out a little bit just to see what it does. I think pine tar is good for the game, especially in cold weather. Gives guys grip, keeps the game moving. No fans want to sit in a cold environment anyways. He'll get a 10-game suspension, but I don't see Michael Pineda as a bad guy. I just see him as being kind of dumb. He went out there with a jar of pine tar stuck on his neck. What was he thinking? MLB Power Rankings time. It is Friday, so that means it's time for our Major League Baseball Power Rankings. First off, coming in at number 5, I'm keeping them in the Power Rankings because they're in a tough division. There's a lot of teams going back and forth. The Tigers are in at number 5 this week. They're 11-8, 4-3. I'm keeping them at that 5 spot. That's where they were last week. We'll see what they can do this coming week. Atlanta jumping up to number 4. They weren't even in the top 5 last week. They are 14-7. They're playing some solid baseball. Looks like the second best record in baseball right now. I like what they're doing. They're pitching well. They're getting some good at-bats from some of their big-time guys. Atlanta in at number 4. Number 3, they fell 2 spots. Dodgers 13-10. Still a tough division once again. Giants playing well. Colorado Rockies playing well. They had a 3-4 week, a tough matchup with the Phillies for sure. They dropped 2 spots, but I like what they're doing. I'm keeping them right there at the number 3 spot. Number 2 will stay in California. The Oakland Athletics, 14-8 overall, 4-3 last week. I have them jumping up a spot. They're hitting the ball well. They're pitching pretty well. They got some guys coming back from some injuries. We'll see what they can do. Oakland in at number 2. And the number 1 team in the power rankings is my winner for the week, jumping up 3 spots, 5-1 on the week. The Milwaukee Brewers, 16-6. They're playing well right now. They just came off a good series with the Pirates. They got some more big series coming up within their divisional race. They're pitching well. They're hitting the ball well. The addition of Matt Garza has been big, and the bullpen has surprisingly been solid. So my loser for the week are the St. Louis Cardinals. Last week, I had the Cardinals in on my power rankings. I had them in on my power rankings right around 2 or 3. Interesting to watch there. Team on the move to watch, Yankees, 8th place in the power rankings, 13-9, 7-3 overall. And continue with the Yankees now. We're going to segue into our New York sports update. Ivan Nova set to have Tommy John surgery after tearing his ulnar collateral ligament in his elbow. He'll be out for a year. Last night, though, the Yankees win 14-5, 6 solid innings by CC Sabathia. They finish up their road trip 4-3, which is respectable for sure, going with Tampa Bay and Boston. They now have a 1.5 game lead over Toronto. They'll start a 3-game set with the Angels tonight. It'll be Wilson at 2-2, 4.21 against Kuroda, 2-1 with a 4.07. Tune in Sunday Night Baseball. Masahiro Tanaka will be on there. Mets keep it going. They win 4-1 over the Cards. They're now 12-10, 2.5 games back of the Atlanta Braves. They start a 3-game series tonight with Miami. Henderson Alvarez 1-2, 2.66 versus Zach Wheeler 1-2, 4.63. NASCAR heading to Richmond. I'm 2-6 on the year. Kyle Busch has won 4 out of the last 5 at Richmond in the spring. I'm taking Jeff Gordon, my guy, running well. I think he's going to get the win tomorrow night. He will get it done. Monday, we'll be back with NBA playoffs, NFL draft 16 through 20, and the New York sports update. Always remember to follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. That is YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog Game Drill. I'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend.